All right, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Ben. It's our 105th episode. Eli, the cycle is over. Tales are beginning. We're going in as best chronological order as we can find. It's Homecoming, the Susan Veraghen 3-issue series, 1994. Wow. First
That's
issue.
right. Yes, I was getting really bogged down by the chronologicalness of it all. And I
Yeah.
think in us two talking, we were kind of like, let's just follow some strings, let's follow some character paths and just kind of see where they take us, not worry about getting bogged down by the true time period, because many of these Grendel tales kind of take place throughout this time period, and their parts in time aren't super set. What you looking up there at the end of the
The last time we saw Susan, she was appointed director of security for the Khan's private Dakota retreat. After several years, she resigned her post and virtually disappeared into the wilderness again. That's all it says.
right, the wilderness of her hometown. And we pick up in this beautiful book with art by Dave Cooper. Well, story and pencils by Pat McEown, painted art and lettering by Dave Cooper, additional dialogue by Matt Wagner.
Yeah, this is great. So I actually had my trade paperback. My collection is at the point where keeping things organized, kind of like whack-a-mole, where I'll find one thing I was looking for, but there's like a list of things I'm trying to find
Yeah.
all at once. So I lost my trade 5 minutes before I needed. Luckily, I have this. But I had my trade in school, and people were three three women of color actually were looking at it instantly, and they said I would read that
Yes.
as soon as they saw random page of art. And I feel like when people, you, me, others, all the Grend heads out there, talk about some of these tales are like the best comics we could imagine.
Yeah.
This is a great example.
Yes. They take this world, and while having one foot in the narrative and these characters we love, there's also this other foot that is wildly running free in this other amazing direction of just comics that are fun and exciting.
Over the last 105 episodes, I have been very I love this. It's I love the book. So I'll criticize it, just wishful thinking, oh, it could be even better like this. And my main complaints are sort of addressed in spades in this book. All the things that I wish that the Grendel story and art would have done in the places where I was like, I wish there was maybe more time to polish this, or probably that. This book doesn't.
It doesn't.
One of the best books I've ever read.
Yeah. Seeing the intricacies of the inner workings of Grendel life, Grendel cities and towns, the way people interact, what's going on, all that stuff is amazing. But before we get into the book, Ben, you want to talk anything about what you've been up to? What's going on in the Beniverse?
The Beniverse. I'm working with Wooshman Bicarbonate on my new graphic novel, The Pictomancer. They're you know them, of course. They've been around for years. Worked
Absolutely.
with I think they worked with Kyle Baker and Stelzer, man, going way back. But
of course.
Anyway, The Pictomancer is I'm 16 pages of basically finished art into it. So
yeah.
It's a new year. I made a resolution to do more comics. So far I have.
It's working. Hell yeah. Same with me, Ben. I'm just knee deep in fulfilling Kickstarter orders for the Ghost Agents Treasury size newsprint edition. As compared to this comic, it's huge. It's Treasury size. So that's going out. Most people who have that should be good. Space Knights is coming out. I got my whole shipping set up. Space Knights is going out. Everyone who's ordered that should have that by now. We have Tony Wolf's Tales from the Wolf, which is getting rave reviews all over Twitter and all over Brooklyn, where it is in many shops.
Congrats.
And yeah, CLP, Cosmic Line Productions, is going crazy. We've got a new a secret book by Barry Tan that's getting its United States print. It's at the printer right now. Arcane 3 is at the printer right now.
Whoa, that's exciting.
Voltage, Ben. And there's just more books. My whiteboard is full.
That's great.
Yes, sir.
That's
All
great.
right. Enough about us. Let's get into the Veraghen-averse. See there.
It's like the devil is my best friend. Hunter rose with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
Alrighty, we're back. Thanks again to Manus and Easy You Busy for that sweet, sweet intro, as always. Ben, we were talking a little bit in the break. This book falls right into the joy that you talk about, where the pictures say everything. We don't even need the words. If we didn't have the words, we'd be fine. Like, this work by Matt, Pat, and Dave is so gloriously rendered and done. How's that? How does that make you feel?
I completely agree. I started photocopying the opening sequence, the first 5 or 6 pages of this for my students years ago.
You
Years
say
ago.
photocopying, like bringing it in?
Pre-COVID. Yeah. I would,
Oh, wow.
yeah, maybe 2018, thereabouts. I'd be bringing, and when I was telling you the story of the students who just caught one look at it and was zoned in and said, I would read this no matter what it is.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of this phrase that I like to bring up, is that I don't care what a story is about, just like how well and interestingly it's told. And this one is so well and interestingly told that you can just read it. You don't need to read you don't need the cycle at all. And yet it deals with all the themes in the cycle, just like really, really neatly packaged. Like you said, it goes, the thing I'm missing is it looks at people's lives. We go from you go into someone's apartment for the first time ever.
From the micro to the macro.
Yeah, absolutely. Macro. Yeah. So it's really like a street level. It's a street level vigilante adventure. You know what it's a lot like is Streets of Fire, the George Miller movie. You know that one?
Yes.
It's a lot like that movie. Actually, there's more than one callback. Look, keep your eyes peeled.
Let's go. We start with this killer Matt Wagner cover painting. Matt's always killing these covers. 1 of 3, and also the tales feature these backup titles that were all put together into Devil's Quest. So we won't cover that here. We'll cover Devil's Quest on its own later in the cast.
Yeah, this is an out of order because publishing chronological. This is a middle chapter.
Right.
So
but this is where we wanted to go next, since we were so psyched on Susan. All right, so it starts off with, and again, Dave Cooper, his art is amazing art. Yes, these new logos, all these different logos. This is Susan's logo, I guess.
That's
is one of
Susan's
her tattoos.
Grendel logo.
Yeah, I believe this is
the
tattoo.
nose. Is that the nose right there?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, the spoilers, the tattoo.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I love about this opening sequence of her coming to town on the bike. It's so cinematic, is that all the shot distances and angles are constantly shifting to move this story forward. With you can practically hear the soundtrack playing. It's very evocative.
Yeah.
So much atmosphere and so much mood.
And this is like it clearly shows the 180 rule. Am I right? Because she's going this way on the top and then this way on the bottom. Right? Is that what that means? You as a teacher of
on page 1?
Yeah, on page 1. Like panel 1, she's going from right to left. Panel 2, left to right.
You know, that's really interesting. There is an interesting connection to this that my mentor used to talk to me about all the time, which is that if you wanted to do that specifically in a car, that you needed a panel in between to sort of like reorient the reader. It was very theoretical, and I wouldn't say it's like totally true, but this page actually kind of does that.
By having
just by having that one, the one of her like kind of like stopped,
right?
Even though it's like
it's like out of order, but and also having these tall, wide panels.
It's up there,
Where we see,
totally.
Yeah, we see a lot of really cool Grendel graffiti, Orion's bastards, and we see a Grendel, the Grendel eyes, and then in the 4th panel we see these people hanging dead from the electrical wires.
It's a really the 3 and 4 goes from a slight high angle to slight low angle to reveal that cool thing as we like peer over Susan's totally helmeted head. And she takes it in, and she sort of admits that she's come back to lick her wounds. Susan has given the last 17, 20 years of her life as to the Asante stepchildren or whatever. We have no idea what's happened to anyone post what they tell us at the very end of War Child.
Right.
Only that Susan is left. She left, and no one ever heard from her again.
Right.
This is the first time we hear from her after that.
It is. So she was always fighting. She was teaching Crystal how to fight. She always had this like strength about her. So, seeing her, you say 17 years later, 20 years later, we know that she didn't have an easy life, and she's only stronger from it. We can kind of start seeing on her legs here that she has, more than just her normal skin, some paint, and she sees these dead people hanging, and she just cruises back into town.
Yeah, dunce. It says hang off their chest.
Mm-hmm. And so we start to see, these other denizens of the town she left. We see these, I love the way these people are shown. We've got like this greaser guy. We've got, I guess greasers. There's no other way to say it. And the other guy.
Well, I mean, ain't this like Streets of Fire?
Yeah. And even like Clockwork Orange, where the different gangs have these different kind of like stylistic choices, like a top hat or a bowler.
Yeah, and look, this guy, you love the Grendel eye variants. Here's like here's our first taste of that.
Yeah. And they're kind of beating up another dude for crossing the bastards until this person comes up on a motorcycle and they're like, well, fuck me. Who's this bitch? Or who's this person? Like, what's gonna happen next? And I like the like some of the graffiti, like it was always like, in him I was born, in his image I was raised, in like the Grendel oath. And so down here it says like, in him I was bored, so there.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the street punk like irreverence, like they don't really have much agency. They're not dealing, spoilers, the bastards are not like taking over the planet.
No.
I really like Dave Cooper's lettering. It's a very unique production pairing. We have Pat McEown is really, really good at all the staging and acting stuff, and Dave Cooper, like this, I feel like for many people this could be the first painted comic that they might have ever encountered.
Yeah, probably was.
It's a very unique. I mean, it looks like there's like colored pencil in there, some dry sitting on top of the
for the graffiti and stuff.
It's great.
All right, so
Best
on the
book
next
ever.
page, god damn, this is like the kind of stuff that Dave Cooper is so good at. These kind of like all this tubing and mechanical stuff and just weird technology, you know? And
How
so,
about these Mobius jackets
oh, I love it.
with the white colored pencil?
I definitely got a few Mobian nods, I would say. And so this is ground zero where she stops her bike, parks, takes off her helmet, shakes out these green dreads. And we see this leader type character with his bowler and circle green eyes get asked, "What do you think? Is she trouble?" She's like, "Not trouble, fun, baby." You know, he
So
thinks,
again, this character is like completely out of like Clockwork Orange and Streets of Fire.
absolutely.
And then Letterkenny they have like these guys in this costume with like what the waiter, it's like the waiters with the suspenders and the boots and like it's it's like a trope, but I don't really know where it's from. I
Right.
love it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right. So then she's going down. She's going down into ground zero. We're seeing all these people. And, you know, we're seeing people in kind of like, you know, all different types of dress, maybe some in uniform, some in sex workers, perhaps, some sort of people from, you know, Moss Eisley or something, you know, as we get to the
And
last panel.
some from 1950s, you know, so America.
Absolutely.
Plus
Absolutely.
plus mutants from Moss Eisley, like you said.
and even like bottom right of panel 3, we are getting these at what we are calling Bernieisms, some of these spirals and different kind of things, which is, you know,
Ooh, where are those?
in
Oh,
the jacket of this person at the end of the
and the
bar
guys,
here,
the guy's cool shirt.
and which are like Grendel tropes now, almost Grendel accentuations, and, you know, transcending Bernie almost. Oh, I did talk to Bernie. He sent us a little message. He's been enjoying the cast, and he always had a great time working on Grendel, is basically the gist of what he sent us. So shout out Bernie again.
Well, I'll tell you, there's another shout out to Bernie on page 6 because there's a bunch of Bernieisms on page 6.
Oh my God, yes.
And all we get, this is what I always wanted, is just see how these people who live in this world that worships hate, how they live, how they, like, you know, when they're not the machinations of aristocratic you know, philandering, incestuous whack jobs. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Not the decision makers, just the people who are living in this world. They're
street, it's
fun.
punk. You know, they're throwing up in the street. Like it's very, very clear what's going on here. Everything's on point. Like it's almost, it's ridiculous. What am I going to say on every page? This is the best looking comic I've ever seen.
Absolutely. I must have forgotten how good this looks, because as I was reading it too, I was just like, God damn.
Yeah. This is one of a handful of comics that you could put in anyone's hand to not make them like comics necessarily, but to say comics can do this. And they'd say, oh wow, it's so, when you put it like this, it just makes sense. I never thought about it this way, but I see it and it's obvious. Oh,
yeah. All right, so then she's sitting at the bar, she gets her drink, but then outside the bastards are looking at her bike. Her and I love the bike again. It's like such a sweet vintage like Vespa kind of thing, packed. Of course, no tires, floating there delightfully.
Vespa, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next page, she's drinking, and then she gets she's talking with the bartender, like, who are these assholes? Who are these people putting up these decorations? Talking about the dead people.
1 and 2 is a very, very like, my students are always like, oh, Ben, I'm making indie films. Why are we looking at like all these big, broad, whatever examples? I say, because they're broad and they're not subtle. They're easier to learn from. And I say, look at this. This is a perfect example of why storyboarding can help the simplest thing. The beautiful transition of close on the bottle, down and then up. They're like just carrying these one thing. It's, you don't, why analyze? The picture says it all.
Right. Like he looks around. and
I
then he's
feel
like,
redundant. It's like like I'll be honest with you, Eli. Like, I don't know if I'd want to interview Dave Cooper because I don't think I'd have anything to say other than like, wow, what's it like to make this one book that I'm familiar with that's amazing when there's 30 years of other stuff that I really don't know that much about.
yeah, yeah. I haven't read a ton of his stuff either. What else did he do? Is he?
Well, here's my story. Here's my story about Dave Cooper. Is that the guy that introduced me to Dave Cooper, who he was one of his favorite guys. He also really liked Coop, the devil pinup guy, and his drawings looked like Coop. So instead of processing the information like a normal person, I just assumed that Dave Cooper was Coop and didn't understand. And I'm not really crazy about Coop. You know, it's like there's other guys who do that, you know, more interestingly
well,
for me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's fine. But I missed the boat on Dave Cooper.
Yes.
Ah.
He's very good. And I mean, he somewhat reminds me of
I just think of how tactile and moody it is. He's so good with his color palettes, keeping it
Jim
simple.
Woodring. He reminds me of Jim Woodring.
Yeah, it's like Jim Woodring a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sure.
The rendering, the painting, the detail.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that earlier, that this is like a painted Jim Woodring book.
Yeah.
But also their cartooning when they're solo is sort of similar to each other in that it's like creature centric.
Yeah, like orbs coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
But him working with Pat McEown and Matt here is some beautiful shit. And people watching, what are we missing out? Like, where else does Dave Cooper shine like that we need to read? All right, and so she's at the
Weasel, I think is a
Weasel.
Called Weasel.
Yes, I have seen that. All right, so after
anyway,
she gets the info here, it's the bastards of City Hall.
I just love that people look normal, that people are dressed in shirts that have buttons instead of like science fiction, like piping, like Saturn Boy or whatever.
Exactly. And so then from behind her, we get a woman asking, you could fuck me instead. This lady starts the proposition. We turn to the next page. She continues to chat with her, gives a little nod to the bartender. And, Susan's just kind of shrugging it off. She continues to drink. We start getting a little of the drunk Bernieisms above her head. And again, the people behind her.
These are really good Bernieisms. Because there's yellow ones and there's bigger sort of like out of focus ones.
Oh my God.
Like in the smokier atmosphere. These might be the best Bernieisms. You see Popeye in panel 1? Yeah, what page?
Oh yeah, Popeye. And then I feel like in panel 3 we're getting these like 90s hippies with
90s alt guys,
with like fishbone hat on or something.
This is the funky town of the 90s.
This is funky town, yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's the same thing, but with zeitgeisting 10 years later.
Yes. And like so then the next panel 4, we've got a guy with a bowler and like a proper mustache. Right. And then the other side, we've got this like
a zombie,
cracked out, or whatever, drugged out, maybe Grendel out at this point.
Oh man,
damn.
Yeah, anyway, so that blah, like, come on, blah blah blah. Long story short, like this woman keeps coming on to her, and the zombie gross guys,
that lettering and that balloon, stuff.
Yeah,
god damn, Ben,
that's a good balloon. Yeah.
Whenever
you know what it looks like? It's like Dave Sim and Mad Magazine, because Mad would kind of go there frequently.
Right. Yes.
No one did it, but no one does this kind of thing better than Dave Sim.
Interesting. So she just knocks that guy out. She grabs her, and then we make this revelation. She says, "Why, Susan? I was right."
Yeah. And Susan's acting here is great. The drawing and the art team comes together so well on her lips and the orbits and the planes breaking all this. The sound effect, thwack. Look at this; it's patched behind her. You see that? It's interacting with the very European. I like this one a lot.
and breaking the panel border.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very well done. Look at the Bergisms.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like when
This
she
is the
wakes,
best. This
yeah,
is one of the best comics ever made.
it is. Agreed. And then on the next page, goddamn, like the spread of this, the coloring on this, oh my god.
Yeah, so it's almost like you can imagine. Can you can imagine Warchild looking like this is this? It's the same artist as Warchild.
Yeah, at the base of it.
So like compare if you put them together, there's a real apples to apples kind of element that you can do.
Mm-hmm. And so Susan's like, Martha? And she kind
Why'd
of
you say that
sidles up to the
name?
bar. Yeah. and
Why'd
she's
you
like,
say that name?
Oh, Martha.
Oh my god, I didn't even register when I read it.
Me neither.
Martha,
She kind of sidles up at the bar and she's like, that's a name I have not heard in a long time.
Little Martha. Okay,
Yeah,
so how
it's like
old do you
blowing
think
your mind.
Susan was when she was in Dakota taking care of Crystal in the very beginning
Yeah.
of Warchild?
Mid to late 20s or something. And she's like in her like
How old do you think
40s or
Crystal
something?
is? How old do you think Crystal is?
Late
Crystal's
teens?
16.
16. Yeah, did they say that? So like
I
then when
wanna
she's
s-
out in the woods.
I want to say that because Jupiter is like 6. And the way they talk, it's like they were kids, little kids together, sort
Right.
of.
Yes.
Even though like she really does consider him like a half brother.
Right.
So she must have been young. So I think that Susan like may have left home. Oh, there's flashbacks.
Right.
Like when she's like
Like
17.
pretty soon
like-
after it. Yeah.
Right,
They were
right,
in,
you're right.
They met in high school, I think. And so her job, working at the retreat was like her college, maybe. Was like after high school, she graduated, she went into the Grendel and so they're just kind of talking like, her name's Avril now. And they've both drastically changed. It's a very interesting thing. She came back home, she didn't expect to see anyone she knew, and then this person comes up and they have a past.
You want to see something really, really classy?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I'm on page 11. Is that okay?
Yep.
Panel 4, page 11. Look at the red stripe on the helmet. Look how that's nestled into the gutters.
Oh my god.
So
That's
nice.
so awesome. That's like
It's
just
so
this little
nice.
circle right here. There's so many like almost tangents, and yet none of them tangent in this like
it all works
beautiful
so well.
dance.
Yeah, this is phenomenal.
Look
Look at this
the wallet on her shoulder too, and her hands. Oh my god, amazing! Go ahead.
Oh, you know what I thought was really powerful is the dialogue in when she tells her off. Dialogue in the last panel. Susan, wait. I promise not to open my big mouth again. I can, and she promises to make her feel great in bed. And it's just like it's so over the top direct. It's so like how sad the world is.
Yeah.
That like or how sad this character is.
Right. And that she saw her like old friend again. She doesn't want to lose this opportunity to maybe get a little bit of like true human connection and feelings by doing the only thing she knows now, So she's like, come on, don't leave.
Do we mention that she says there was one night where it almost so wistful?
Yes.
Okay.
That one night,
yeah.
You made everything all right.
Have you seen Letterkenny?
I've not seen that show.
It's a very annoying show, but it's funny in the right dosage.
Yeah.
This character, this like Clockwork Orange guy, there's like a character who's like a parody of this character.
Wow.
In that show. And I feel like this character used to be menacing to me, and now I can't
because that dang, I gotta
he's
see
so
this guy.
funny. Yeah.
All right, so she comes out and he's all smug and he's like, well, if it ain't the Jolly Green Giant. And she's just like, so stoic, not flinching, not even anything. And she's just like, get the fuck off my bike now.
You know what DNA I'm seeing in here? for some reason
Yeah.
is Feral Dalrymple.
Real Dalrymple. I agree.
Yeah, a
man.
lot of that. I was just looking at the Wrenchies today.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
What a book.
I recently got whoops. I backed some Feral stuff. I have a bunch of Feral right here. He's so good. Yeah. I have 2 of these now. You want this? Or the other one of these?
Hey, you know me.
Well, I got a nice package building up for you, buddy boy. You know,
Wow.
there is some similarities. I'm seeing it as well. And then Feral does this kind of like really super rendered like black and white stuff.
Yeah.
That gives it the same texture of like these colors.
He's so creepy. He's so David Lynchian.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know what panels I really enjoy here are the last one on 12 of Susan's face.
Yes.
I think what's going on in a lot of these, I think a lot of these effects are because there's an underpainting. So like a lot of Susan's flesh tones, you can see the earth tone underpainting coming through it. I really like this one on 13 of the pink and purple like sunset against the guy's hat with the highlight on it. The best panels in this issue are like the ones later on of the light coming off his bowler hat.
Yes. And you know, on 12 he introduces himself as Buster the Large.
No, that's the dude who runs the Bastards. His name is Sime or something.
Oh yeah, my name is Sime, emissary of the hugeness, Bustifer, Grophius, Abelard, leader of Orion's Bastards. Oh yeah, he's the Dark Knight style mutant leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that they do talk like megalomania.
Yeah.
That like I think it's insinuated that there's like maybe there's some kind of like myth that really maybe they are like the real children of Orion, and one day we're gonna get it, but they're just like, you know, slumlord you know, conning
small
over
this
shitty little place.
Yeah, exactly.
This shitty place that doesn't matter.
Yep. Can't have that now, can we? She's just like, hold that, like, let's get this going, you know. And they're also saying like, you know, she's ours too, about her friend.
Oh, you know what I couldn't stop thinking about is Sime's or Seam's knee pads, which are just regular knee pads like I had when I was a kid.
Rollerblade pads or something.
But also that his cane is just a regular cane like you would buy at Walgreens, except it's purple. Right. It's 1994, Eli. Every single other character in comics that has a cane, it's got those like techno seams and like exposed like chip shits going on.
This doesn't have anything. No bonus, no sharpness.
It's so much more artistic than the other things that it looks like.
And it pushes forth this like dirty retro futurism kind of the dirtiness. Yeah. Love it. God. I don't think you understand the goddamn gravity of your situation. And like he just keeps prognosticating. He just keeps, this town is our playground, a romp hole to do with as we please. Everyone must answer to us. I feel like he's got a little Southern, I guess, in him.
Is that where okay.
I don't know. That's just what came out. Now here we are in 14 in this spread. The people in the background here are amazing. Like the guy with the Grendel shirt. Like I want that shirt with the high pants. Oh my God. We almost got this like Lynchian, like David Lynch looking character with the big hair and the suit. Maybe that's the guy we saw earlier, because we did see a guy with like a Colonel Sanders tie thing on. Yeah.
You know, this really makes me want more comics from the Hell is for Children era of Grendel, the migration, the gladiator games from the oil stuff. It's just like, man, it's such a good callback to that. Now the staging of this sequence, the tension and release, especially in the last 4, Susan Little, high on him, Worm's Eye as he taps down his rubber cane thing by his very well done boot. And then him dead on, and then she has her work and just starts taking these guys to town.
Yeah. You're nothing but children. Grabs his head, solid headbutt, ducks this guy, smashes him out. You're nothing but children with dangerous toys. And this is the first time that her dreads kind of go off of her face. And we see that she's got this big eye tattoo as well. Like, I don't think that was really shown much at all yet.
Look
She
at
always
how much
had
atmosphere.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she was always just white. Well, the last time
With
we
it
saw her,
over
she
her
had,
eye too.
she had a mohawk.
Well,
And
that's
now
true. Oh, but she didn't have this tattoo then either.
No.
Right.
She didn't. But in this issue, they say, I got my tattoos. You know what they mean. And it's like, there's a big gap. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Although Manny had them. Isn't this what Manny had?
Oh, he had a thing on his like skull that came down like this, right?
I thought he had some kind of face tattoo. I don't know.
But he had a
It's
head
not
tattoo.
relevant.
Yeah.
It's all relevant. It's all
relevant. Yes. All right, so you were saying
yeah. There's so much texture and atmosphere and detail and everything. I almost want to say it's all Bernieisms. That is to say, it all looks so it's sumptuous.
Yeah.
Well done, Dave Cooper.
I wonder what type of direction, if it came from Matt or if it came from Pat, like, of how to draw these people in the background, to just say grab people from every single decade or just grab people from like all over, draw them however you want, like, because
I don't think it's too much different from what happened in the ongoing series for the first half of it. It's really not that much different. It's just more refined. It's literally that the cycle ended so people could say, oh, like contextualize, okay, this is what it is. Let's literally spin off of something that's very clearly mapped out.
Yeah.
So we got people in the dirt at the bar.
Yeah.
In their lives, in their messy lives. And we got sumptuous, beautiful, deep space, color hold, best looking comic anyone's ever seen.
Yeah. Man, she just continues on the next page too. These 4 amazing panels of this whomp, whud, fuck, nab, like, great sound effects there.
What's your favorite of the 4?
The onomatopoeia or of the frame itself?
Of the panels, yeah.
I mean, this elbow to the shoulder, the joy
so
and
good.
anger in Susan right there. It's got to be panel 3 though.
This is totally War Child.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like this Ronin character coming back, though now they're like coming home. So there's this, like, there's the homecoming. Oh, there was homecoming. That was a Grendel thing. All right. See this tattoo shitbag? Do you know what it means? Huh?
Yeah. What does it mean?
It means discipline, strength, honor. It means I can kill because I'm not afraid to die. So maybe this is her like clan logo.
But all that backstory, which I totally believe her on, she says that I believe it, is after she leaves Dakota.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So maybe she fell in with another clan that she like trained with.
So
and became, like,
there's another Susan Veraghen story waiting to be told.
What about Past Prime? That story, is that before or after this?
I have it right here. She's tattooed on the cover.
Oh,
so
true.
There's a Susan story that ends with her getting tattooed that leads into this.
Yes, this is the Grendel Tales Black, White, and Reds that we need to write.
Man.
Dang, Susan's Black, White, and Green.
Yeah. What's this girl's name? Avril.
Avril. Yeah.
She hips her to more violence to come. Oh,
she's like, look out behind you. And so they start coming. This is amazing. She throws Sime into these other dudes with a duff. And he's like, kill that bitch. What? That's not his name. That is his name.
No, that's his name.
Yeah. And then they're just coming. She takes off her jacket, God
Yeah,
damn, this panel too.
This panel, yeah.
The pink,
This is
like,
this is the one.
yeah, this is the one you're talking about. You wouldn't ever think to have the pink right there. Like this is like a bright pink where like I would immediately think dark colors, browns,
Well,
maybe a yellow, but god
yeah.
damn.
Well, I think that what's going on here is what Brennan calls the atmospheric haze,
Mm.
because all the color holds are knocked into purples
Yeah,
from
you're
black.
right. Yep.
And she's coming forward because she's still inked in, in
Yeah.
black.
Yeah.
So she really does stand out.
This is like
I
a
think.
rack focus. We would have like a rack focus like
Yeah,
out
yeah. I mean, they're
from
not
her
in
kind of
as
thing.
much focus as,
Mhm.
and then the guys, there's 3 layers of guys over the shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. And on the next page, she is just going through them.
Yeah.
Like
But contender,
Jean-Claude Van Damme
high,
style.
high easy contender for one of the best panels in the series. Top 10 panels in the thousands of page series easily.
Damn, absolutely. That's going to be our YouTube banner then. All right, man. He is just, she's just cranking through these guys, breaking noses, breaking arms, boot to the face, just really not taking much damage. And just
Look at the Bernieism. She kicks this guy's balls.
oh yeah, dude, right in the balls. He's like boink, glicks, a fox, and I mean breaking
Yeah, the Glick
legs.
is like Will Elder.
Oh, the Gick is the
Yeah, because it's like
and that's the guy we saw before who at the beginning,
the
and then,
rockabilly
yeah,
guy, yeah.
exactly. And then she's just then she's done. She's like
just like War Child.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's very, very War Child.
This kick right here too, the panel 4
Yeah.
on 19 is like that's straight out of War Child too.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
it's Pat
she
McEown.
trained with the Paladin at some point.
Yeah, but
She's
it's the dude who just drew the last 10 issues.
That's true. That's true.
So we're very like it's very fortuitous that we're hitting
Going
all
right
the
into
McEown. Yeah, tracks.
I think that's exactly why we did it. And then we had on the last page we have all these sputters like, oh my god, Buster's gonna be pissed. She's dead. She's crazy. Oh my god, we're gonna kill her.
I like
and
that
Avril's
they're gray. That it is like mutters because you
Yeah.
can see it's like covered up in atmosphere.
Yeah,
Love it.
and Avril's like, here's your helmet, Susan. She's got hearts coming out of her eyes, and she's like, get on. C May's dead, baby. C May's dead, or something. Like she's like, get on and let's like ride off into the distance. And
this last
pissed.
one of C May is the one I was talking about before, where it's
shining
the
off
painting.
Yeah,
The painting is so fucking great. The way that the red kind of blushes next to it, it's like it's very instructive.
Yeah, no holding line right there where they'll like shine. Oh my god! And then the panel right before it, the detail in that building we saw at the start of the book, where I was like, "That's Dave Cooper right there, man."
For sure.
Holy shit! All right, killer, man. And then this is where the Babylon crash begins. Short and sweet, but absolutely amazing, man.
Yeah, I think that this Babylon crash is probably like the second or third sequence with this Khan character.
Right, and it's
in Devil's
grandson of
I don't remember
Jupiter,
anything.
It's like Jupiter the Third or something.
Yeah, because there's a sequence of him in this room, I think, where he does like the faces, the bird's eye view, like walking through a maze, kind of.
Oh yeah, and Matt was telling us about that, where you have to keep turning the book like this to read it.
There's like a cool bit. Here he's talking. It's really well designed. It's all well designed. This cool robot in the checkerboard floor.
Yeah, just beautiful.
And
this is matte painting. This is a matte painting. I get it. Anyway,
yeah.
Now, when we get to it too, I have an original from this story that we can look at. Yes, not from this story here, but from the first story in
Devil Quest.
Yeah,
excellent. You said there's a Chris Pitzer.
I think it's later. One of these has a Chris Pitzer. But
here's Diana. Diana's got a book review. From Inside, John Reargen.
From Inside, yeah.
John Reargen's lushly painted From Inside is the chilling, evocative story of a pregnant woman's journey away from and into the apocalypse. A true graphic novel in every sense. I've never heard of that. That sounds
Me neither.
awesome.
No.
That sounds haunting. Thanks, Di.
Oh yeah, and so they're talking about Devil in Our Midst and stuff, and that's the Paul Grist. They're saying Devil in Our Midst takes place after Four Devils, One Hell. Talking about the area list a bit in these letters. We get a cool photo. The chick, Yee editor, the long hair, Matt, back when he had hair. Hey, I didn't say it. And Bob Schreck in the background. All
What
right,
does your shirt say? King?
It does say King, yeah.
But it's during Kamiko. Oh.
Yeah, it must be
maybe,
a signing for
maybe
something.
it's like Fisher King. I don't know. Who knows? All right, then you want to talk about these photos. Fun with photos.
Yes, we got some good ones. We see
this is sorry. Diana says one of those disposable cameras. My God, yeah, they were so novel when they came out.
Yes, old tech alert in that one. And we get to see the crew here, man. I mean, we get a young Amanda Wagner, Stephen Darnell. We get Matt and Barb, his wife. We get Tim Sale, a very dashingly young Tim Sale, and Teddy Christensen.
Oh, there's Teddy.
Yeah. And then we get
who's this? Seth? Who's this guy with the sunglasses? The guy who looks like the Corinthian. Is that
Jamie S. Rich? Jamie S.
Jamie S. Rich. There you go. I was like, who is that? So familiar.
We got Auntie Dee Dee and Eli Stilson. You got another Eli in your life? Come on.
The other Eli, yes.
He's dressed awesomely, so I'll let him have it.
So this is cool. There's some mask stuff here. You like that?
They're at San Diego Comic-Con, and it looks like, I mean, if this is 1994, this is right when the mask was debuting, and it was probably a huge year for Dark Horse, being like, we got a huge movie. It was probably the biggest comic book movie of the time, maybe Turtles, but actually, I bet you Mask did better than Turtles.
Is it Dark Horse's biggest movie?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
What about 300? Does that count? Does 300 count as a Dark Horse movie?
I wonder. It's a good question. What about Dr. Giggles? You think it's bigger than Dr. Giggles?
Dr. Giggles is the first. Maybe not the biggest,
but the first.
Let me ask you a question, Eli.
Yes, sir.
If we turn the page and you were wearing this shirt, it would blow my mind.
God damn it. Why am I wearing that shirt?
If only. And then here's Teddy. Here's our first glimpse of Teddy in such a long time.
Yes. I'm excited to do Four Devils, One Hell. I do really, really like that story very much. We'll get there.
Again, one of the best comics ever made.
I know. These tales are...
And it's you can say that about, like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of these Grendel tales.
Yeah. Well, and one of my favorites, Devil in Our Midst, you haven't even read it yet, the Grist one.
Haven't even read.
And you still have none of the issues, or what?
I have the whole thing. I have the whole thing twice. I have it in omnibus and floppy. I've looked at it.
Okay. So you're gonna be fresh when we get there. That's great.
Fresh and dressed like 50 cents. I love this comic, you like.
I do too, man. When I pulled it out, I pulled all 3 out and I read them all like in one sitting. I was so excited. Like, it was so
Let me see. I want to go through the Dark Horse December checklist. I think this will be fun.
All right, let's do it.
All right, shipping December. All right, Caravan Kid Part 3. Let me see. Let me first of all see if there's books that I know what they are.
I know, right?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
John Byrne's X-Men. I know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars. Dark Horse Insider presents.
Dark Horse presents 92.
Dirty Pair. Grendel Tales.
Oh, the Four Devils.
Hermes. Ooh, this is what I'm looking for. Hermes versus the Old Kid is Eddie Campbell.
Right. Out of the pages of Dark Horse Presents. That's where I usually know that from.
Okay. Here's an Indiana Jones license. Instant Piano. A Madman book.
Ooh, no. A Madman limited edition cold cast figurine.
Dark Horse, you have your thing. You gotta have multiple income streams.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard they do over there. What's Rebel Sword?
Don't know. Tales of the Jedi, Dark Lords of the Sith. I bet you that's fun. Ooh, here we go. Batman vs. Predator 2.
What's that? Is that Bernie Wrightson?
No, I thought it was the Q-Berts. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I know they did the first one, but I don't know if they did the second one. Grendel Tales Homecoming #1. That's us. Ooh, Sin City.
Bunch of Sin City.
Oh, the big fat kill number 2 is like the issue on the stands right then. More
Oh,
Star
here we go.
Wars.
Tale of One Bad Rat. That's why I came.
Ah, you love that one.
I really do. That
It's
is
really-
also that, like this one, I would say is demonstrably one of the best books ever made. That's it.
That's it.
What else
Until
is
next
there?
week, Vivat Grendel.
Keep on
and keep
Grendling.
on Grendel.